Yo. Welcome back. Another episode of Channel 914. I'm your host, Rel Allen, and I have another esteemed guest here with me. I like to refer to him as the most interesting man in the world.
Some people think that.
Every time I go to any sort of like cool event involving food or liquor, you either there in attendance or somehow you're directly involved in the
some
shit.
point,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like pretty much everything I've like the last time I saw you was at the whole whiskey bonfire. Cigar, you know what I'm saying? So you are a connoisseur of fine beverages.
I am a connoisseur of fine beverages.
You're a chef?
I am. I am a chef.
And you're also a portfolio manager for one of the largest liquor distribution company.
Yeah.
In the United States.
Well, for Southern Wine and Spirits, I'd help distribute and sales and shit. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've seen the liquor industry. I've seen it grow. I've been doing that job for about 10 years.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
So so we go way back. You know what I'm saying? College. Iowa Wesleyan College to be exact.
C days.
IWC in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, the middle of fucking nowhere.
No fucking where.
This dude pulled up in a fucking was like an 18-passenger church van, like a
church van.
Fucking
I had
small
a school van. Actually, it was funny because it was my high school principal who gave me that van.
He just gave you the van?
No, she was like
she gave.
She was like, "You're going to college," and then she was like, "Take the van," and I was like, "For how long?" She was like, "Just keep it till you need it, and then bring it back." And I was like, "For real?" She was like, "Yeah. Nobody's using it anyway. Nobody fucking uses it back there. Nobody uses it for anything. Like, just take it." And I was like, "Alrighty then, I'll take it."
So how long did you keep it down? I don't even remember.
Shit, I don't know the whole first. I think it was the first semester. The second semester I didn't have it because I brought it back after the first semester.
Okay.
Yeah, because then I was taking the train back and forth.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that. What was that? The California Zephyr or whatever?
The California Zephyr. Yeah, man. You stop right there behind campus, the Amtrak station.
Man, listen. People don't understand how much fun that was.
Bro, them little 4-hour train rides used to meet all types of wild people. Them people used to be coming all the way from California. They'd been on the train for 2 days.
And they would be going to New Orleans because that was the last stop. Like, it went from California all the way to New Orleans.
I thought it was Chicago where
No, it's called the California Zephyr, and it goes from California to New Orleans. That's like the last train.
I never realized it stopped in New Orleans.
That's a long fucking time.
Man, bro. Yeah, because
it's like 6 days on a train. 6 days on a fucking Amtrak.
I remember, man, we used to be in the smoking car. Playing spades.
And you could imagine they stopped the smoking car, bro. You would fucking die on this. Like, yeah, we was playing spades, kicking it, everybody drinking, got shit in their bags. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, man, it was a wild time, man.
Yeah,
but yeah, man. So you used to drink Hawkeye vodka.
Oh man, I used to drink Hawkeye vodka. I used to drink fucking what was that other shit? Skull.
Oh
yeah, shit.
SKOL.
Yeah, remember the boys used to make that shit called mop water.
Oh, you talking about
that was their punch.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was called mop water.
Oh,
it was literally like 2.5 gallons of Skull vodka, some Country Time lemonade, like 2 of those big things. Because I watched them make it once. It was like Country Time lemonade, some water, like a 1/2 gallon of water, and a half of like however much beer they could just keep pumping in it from the fucking keg. And I was like, that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
But you couldn't taste the vodka. All you could taste was like this. It tastes like a shandy or like it tastes like a pink lemonade fizzy pop or whatever. But like people would just get mopped up off the floor.
Oh my God. Yeah, those are some wild because all you can really do is drink.
All you could do is drink.
Yeah.
You couldn't really find no weeds.
Nah, and what you could find was horrible.
It was straight horrible garbage.
I mean,
from some cornfield.
Oh my God, man, yo, it's actually kind of traumatizing for me to think about. Remember the food, bro?
Oh, I remember the food.
Oh my God,
I remember the food.
It was like it was never anything. The only time they used to do steak and shrimp like once a month.
Yes, they did the same dry ass steak and shrimp.
Yeah, man.
You remember when you was there that one time? I convinced them to let us cook for us. Yeah, we cooked everything: fried chicken, macaroni and cheese.
I
and stuff.
remember
Cool.
that. That was one of the
It's like
greatest.
soul food.
Yeah, man. So now,
Yeah,
you've moved up in the world.
I've moved. Yeah, I've moved around.
Yeah.
I've moved around this planet. It's been great.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Working in wine and liquor, wine and food and beverage and all that.
Food and beverage has been fun. It's a great time. Like it's a good. It was just a great job, right? And when I was in college, and even when I left there, I went to Alabama State, and like, I just for some reason I was like, man, I want to get paid to drink.
So I remember you saying that.
I said that a long time ago.
Right. So it's crazy that you actually do that now.
Yeah.
So, but before we get into that, I want to ask, man,
Yeah.
because so you went. So there's a lot of like conversations between like PWIs and HBCUs.
Right.
So you went for it couldn't get more white.
No, it couldn't get more white
than where we
couldn't
were.
Get more black than
Right.
Alabama State.
So like just tell me what the main. I mean, obviously there were some differences.
Oh,
right?
it was definitely some
You know what I'm saying? So how was it going from Mount Pleasant, Iowa to where in Alabama?
Montgomery, Alabama.
Montgomery, Alabama. How was that?
Well, so listen, first off, I'll say it wasn't much difference when it came to the racism. How about that? Like, it wasn't much different. I was just going from one like northern redneck state to like a real redneck state. That was it. I mean, like, but going down to being in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, it was nothing to do. Right?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
There was nothing to do. I really still, I don't want to discredit the school, but like I really still believe that they bought us all out there to pay for that gym.
Oh yeah. I mean, so
yeah.
it was obvious because they brought us all out there like at one time.
At one time,
Like it was like first it was like no black people. So I was there before. I was there like a semester before you.
Yeah.
And it was like a wave that came
then
down.
It was like 700 of us.
It was and they had no idea what to do.
None.
Yeah, like
it was two dudes in the dorm that couldn't read, and I was like, yeah.
See, we're not gonna even say who those people were.
Like,
but
no,
it was
I'm just
definitely.
saying, I mean, like it really was. It was like I was in a class with them, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, did I make it to college or did I get scared?
Nah, it was definitely some people down there that didn't have no
business being there.
None whatsoever.
So what I found though was I found that even now, like people that I met in Iowa, we still like everybody still rock with each other because everybody. It was like being in the struggle,
Man.
You know what I mean? It was like being in the struggle. You were in the middle of nowhere. You were definitely in the middle of no fucking where. And all you had was the people around you to entertain you, to have a good time. You could drive up to Iowa City if you had a car, you know, which I had that big ass van, which I would pack people in and take people to the club. I would take everybody to the club in that big motherfucker. People be sitting on the floor and shit.
Man,
That's great.
you had a bus for real.
I did have a bus. And then, like, leaving there and going to Alabama State. Alabama State was amazing. It was an eye-opener for me. Mm-hmm. It was great to see, you know, all these successful people and black people and just, like, all these women. And it was just great because they were just there and they were learning, and I wanted to learn with them. So it was cool. It was a big jump, though, like to see... I remember seeing our fraternities. We were the Lambdas. It was Lambdas at Iowa. It was Lambdas in Iowa, and then I went down there and I saw like oh, okay, the cues, I saw all that shit that I saw on TV.
Right, yeah. The real
Yeah.
fraternities in the sorority.
And I was
Not
like,
lambda.
hell no, not lambda. And I was like, oh man, this is pretty dope. So yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was a big jump, but I enjoyed being able to see and meet all the people down there. Even though when I got down there, all the Chicago people just hung together.
Yeah.
This is just one of those. Just like
Chicago people tend to do that.
Yeah, Chicago had their own stoop, like they had their own section. None of us lived on campus. We was like, how y'all live on campus when it's so cheap to buy a house down? Like we didn't understand. Motherfuckers was like, bro, my rent like $335 for a 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Like, what the fuck?
Hey man, it's so crazy. Like when because I left there and went to West Illinois,
Yeah.
which is still super white.
Right.
But that college living, when you living off campus and you think you really grown,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I was paying like $300 for it. You know what I'm saying? Had a nice house. Like a whole crib. I had 2 roommates, man. We had a nice house.
Man, my boys had a damn pool and a pool house. I was like, nigga, this is amazing.
Bro, it was, and you know what I'm saying? You paying like $25 for electricity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what made me be like, the South, this is crazy. I could never live down here, though. This is weird.
yeah, man. It's yeah. Like, I mean, I've been a lot of places. I've never been to Alabama. But, I didn't been to Georgia, I ain't been to Florida, I ain't been to Texas. And, the South is definitely different.
The South is the South.
Yeah, you in the South when you're in the South.
Yeah, when you get to, like, Montgomery and shit, that's when you're starting to reach that deep South element. And you start realizing, oh, it's way different. It's different from even that. Like, oh, shit,
Yeah.
Because you get to, like, Birmingham, you like, oh, y'all still cool? You get to Montgomery, you like, all right, now I gotta get in the house before the sun goes down. Like, man, I gotta get in the house.
Don't look him in the eye. Don't look him in the eye.
Like, nah, bro. Run. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never forget, man. One time, me and my roommate, man, we was in the house. We had an apartment in this fucking building downtown. It's weird. It had bugs and shit, but it was big. And I never forget that morning. We woke up, man. You just hear like a fucking parade, and we like, what the fuck? So I look out the window, and I look like, oh shit. So then my roommate, he was a little high head though. I still love my guy, but he was a high head. He like, man, let's go down there. It was a motherfucking Klan rally, bro. Wow. Like, they was walking, they were marching to, like, Martin Luther King's church down there. And, that's, freedom of speech, they do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Right, yeah.
They was on horseback. They had guns and shit. I was just like, no, bro.
It's probably not a good idea.
Let's go down there. I'm like, we not going down there, my boy.
Yeah.
What we gonna do?
Exactly.
We from Chicago.
Yeah, get lynched?
Nigga, we from Chicago. I ain't going down there, bro. Y'all can have that shit. Like, it's just one of those where, when you up here, when you in Chicago and shit, people see they see a Confederate flag and it's a shocking moment. Right. Shit down there, shit normal, motherfucker. On every truck, on every, whatever. Not to go in certain places. Not to be in there.
Yeah. When you see that, that's an international symbol. I remember some years ago, man, I was doing mentoring.
Yeah.
And, kids in high school getting ready to go to college, man. I would tell them, man, if you go down south, if you see this flag, because a lot of them, because they didn't learn the same history that we learned. So I would just show them, man, hey, if you see this flag, I mean, you're not supposed to be there.
You ain't supposed to be there.
You know what I'm saying?
No matter how upset you may be.
Right.
Right? No matter how it is put in your mind that you upset that somebody's flying that flag, or like you see a swastika some fucking where, you don't. You just walk away.
Or unless you own that and you better be prepared for what comes with it.
Because you better be prepared for what's coming with it. Because it's coming.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It's coming.
Yeah. They ain't on that.
It's coming, bro.
Well, luckily you made it back.
Oh, I made it back. It was just a great experience. I've had the pleasure of seeing a lot of this country and a lot of other countries, right? Like, I travel a lot. Yeah, that's why
call you the most interesting man in the world. Like I swear to God, like you would be a prime candidate for like an Anthony Bourdain type show. Like,
I travel a lot because I like I like I like to see new shit. I realized my senior year of high school. Well, no, my junior year of high school. Right, junior year of high school. I was at Dunbar. I think. Yeah, I was at Dunbar. And
shout out to the mighty man.
Right, shout out to the mighty man. But I also like I was just on dumb shit. You know what I mean? And hung out with the wrong crew. And
down here on the low end.
It wasn't even on low end. It's still low end.
Yeah, 39th is definitely low end.
I was on 55th though. I was on 55th.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on 55th. I ended up getting my ass in some shit, and it changed my life. It changed. I ended up getting. I'll tell you this. I ended up getting shot, right? Because I was hanging out, just on some shit, just like being young, just wanting to be all the dumb shit.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't go back to school because it happened in like August or whatever, right? And I missed during rehab. I had missed 30 days of school, and that was when the 30-day rule started. And they were like, "You can't come back here." And I was like, "Oh, that's fucked up." So then I ended up having to go to an alternative school, which was actually the best thing that ever happened to me.
Which one did you go to?
I went to Olive Harvey Middle College.
Okay.
And
I thought you were about to say Double E.
No, hell no. Hell no. Double E was fucked up.
Yeah, you gotta be from Chicago. Real Chicago know what Double E is.
But yeah, I went there, and like I think that it changed my life. That was one of those where like that was the first time I had seen people like the kids were going on trips, right? They were going places.
Yeah. I
hadn't really been on many planes at that point.
Yeah.
I think I had been on one maybe. And I think I was 18. Shit, I was old. I was old for what I was. I was old. Because I needed one more year to graduate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the principal there was like, "Oh no, you a slick motherfucker. You need to come hang." Like she's like, "Yeah, you know how to get your way out of shit." So
definitely.
I want you to fucking come. She's like, "You need to come and travel with us, right?" Like she's like, "Do your work in the classrooms, and we're gonna travel." And she was like, that was the first time I had been somewhere. Like she took us everywhere, right? She took us she flew us to New York to go to a conference or something. And I was like, this is the most amazing city I've ever been to. You know what I mean? I was like, this is the most amazing city I've ever been to. I want to go back.
That is not the thought
It
I
is
had the
definitely
first time.
not.
First time I went to New York, that was definitely not the thought.
New York for me was the first time I had stepped there. I was like, this is amazing. It's all these people from all over the globe.
Yeah, now that's real. It's people from everywhere.
It's so many fucking people, and it's so filthy and just like
dirty.
And it's so many people, like, you're just on top of each other. Everybody on top of each other. Bro, and they live in these small-ass hovels.
It's like everywhere you go in New York, there's like people. It's like there's nowhere you can go where
no fucking where you can go.
I just remember flying in and looking like, man, this looked like a fucked up game of Tetris. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, ain't really no rhyme or reason. Like, in Chicago, like downtown, it looks like this was planned out and things like, But like down there, it was just like we just gonna start building shit.
Fuck it, was random ass skyscraper. Just put this bitch right here.
Yeah, wherever it's room, just put that shit there. Just do it.
Yeah, that was the first time I had seen cars on lifts and shit in parking lots. Like, what the fuck? Like, I can't get my shit down unless you get back here. Nah, I'm good. Yeah. But we traveled, man, and she took us on like college tours and shit through the South, and then we would go to like DC. And it was just amazing. Like she was just, and it sparked this thing in my mind. And I remember one of the teachers saying, man, every pair of Jordans you buy or every pair of shoes you buy is a plane ticket. And that was it for me. I was like, man, fuck this, I'm out. Like, I want to see the rest of the world. Yeah. And I've been trying to achieve that ever since. Like, I just want to see the globe. I've been everywhere. Europe, Asia, Africa. You know, I want to get to I want to go to some of the other war-torn places. I want to go to Afghanistan and Australia, shit like that.
I remember, because we just mentioned Anthony Bourdain. We talked about because you watch Parts Unknown. He went. I don't know if it was Libya or somewhere he went to.
Yeah.
Where it was like actual conflict or something going on, or maybe it might. I don't know. I don't think it was Libya. Maybe like Israel, Jerusalem. Either way, it was somewhere where they kind of had to cut parts of the show out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like when you talk about like food shows.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could say Parts Unknown was a food show, but it was really more so about the culture of the places where he went.
It really was. That was what made him famous.
Yeah, and
what made him famous was him being just talking to real people.
Yeah, and seeing how like the culture of the place influenced the food that they ate.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And it's just like you don't really see anything like that anymore. Like nobody's been able to duplicate shit like that.
You don't.
You know what I'm saying? So like, do you feel like there's a reason why nobody else has been able to do that? It's just like him just being this singular person?
Because no, it's not that. It's because people are always trying to fake. They always trying to fake it. They always trying to plan it out and fake it. And I think even though his shows were well thought out and planned out, I think what made it real was that he didn't really give a fuck about he didn't give a shit about what you thought of him or whatever, or it was about let me shine the light on these people. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And he gave your inner thoughts of what you were thinking about those people. He's just because it's, just because there's conflict here, or just because you don't understand their way of life, they also have a food scene and they enjoy food much better than you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they take their time to make things and taste things and grow things. Yeah. And I think that's what made it. That's what made his show great.
Because I remember he would talk about the history of certain foods, and there would be reasons why people they started eating this, or this grows here, and this is why they ended up making this. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it was always culturally into it. And he would go, like you say, he would go eat at people's houses. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He would go have a guest, and they would go their mama house. He would. And she would cook them a traditional dinner in whatever culture, you know what I'm saying?
I had a couple conversations with Anthony Bourdain from the times that I met him.
So tell me, please.
They were great. They were here. He was here for events, especially when he started working. He was a brand person, or he was the face of Balvenie at one point. Okay. Balvenie Scotch. So he did a couple private events here in the city. And then he did some of the Chicago gourmet stuff, which was dope. And then he did a whole bunch of tours of going to places, but he would never go to places that was recognizable here. And you would be looking at his show where the fuck is that place? And if you wasn't in the industry, you wouldn't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or you would go there and be like, this food is mediocre. But it was the people that he was showcasing. Yeah, yeah. You would go and be like, oh man, the food, it's all right. But, it was the people and the conversation that made his show so dope. Yeah. Yeah. I loved his show. I loved him as a person. He was a cool dude. He was really a cool dude.
He seemed like a really,
to you and have you just have a cool conversation. It'd be really quick, probably, because there's a fucking line of people standing there. Yeah. I remember once we did some. It was the first time I had met him, and we were there. It was my friend Ann. She was like, he's over there, right? She's whispering, I want to meet him. And then all these people were standing in line waiting for he's sitting down, and he's probably trying to have his fucking coffee. And we were the first two in line. So I just started screaming his name hey, Anthony, I know you fucking see us. I know you fucking see us. I do that with any famous person, right? Like I don't give a shit if you're famous.
That doesn't surprise me at all. That's you, yeah.
No, I never gave a shit who's famous. Like I've literally had conversations. I've been in clubs with people and didn't know that they were famous until people started taking pictures.
Yeah.
And like been drinking with them for hours, and they'd be like, "Man, you cool as hell," because I don't know who you are.
Right.
I don't give a fuck who you are. Like I really don't care who you are. Like it's just one of those. Like, But like, he's just cool dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Anthony Bourdain, man.
R.I.P. to Anthony.
That was one of the ones, man. When that happened, man, that definitely, like, bro, that hurt my heart, man.
Yeah.
It was sad. It was sad to see him go.
It's sad, and I think a lot of people don't understand it. Like, no matter how famous you are, you can always feel lonely.
Man, and especially the things that we've seen and with people.
Yeah.
Like, like, man, I mean, especially in the world we live in right now, things are like so materialistic and money driven. But I mean, it's pretty obvious for the people that you see that are super rich and still going through all these problems or like having these
because
breakdowns.
they don't listen. I have a lot of rich friends. I have a lot of rich friends. They just as normal or more fucked up because they lonely.
Yeah.
Some of them are lonely. Some of them are not. Like a lot of them, they found like a lot of my really good rich friends have found the mate, and they also don't treat their life like being rich, and I think that's the key.
When you say they don't treat their life like being rich, what do you mean?
Like my rich friends don't go out and buy like cars and shit.
Yeah,
they go buy like property and be excited, and then we be like, "Where you buy something? I'm coming to come." Or they'll call me, "Hey, we just got this new place, like."
Right.
Come check it out. Like, all right, so we just all kick it. Like we travel together. And like we kick it, and I like being around my friends.
So
like
it's more like about the experience as opposed. It's more experiences over things.
It's more about the camaraderie of the person. Like it's about being with true friends. And I think that like a lot of like super wealthy people don't have true friends anymore. I don't ask nobody for shit. But like I think a lot of people don't have wealthy friends. Like they don't have their wealthy friends. They're constantly asking them for things, or they're constantly being bombarded with wealth. Yeah. And it's always something. And I think that's the problem is that people now just on the globe period, because we've pushed money as this, I don't know, like we've pushed it as the ultimate fucking thing on the planet.
Yeah, it's like what you have to have. And if you don't have it, then you're nothing, basically. Yeah.
Money means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It means absolutely nothing. If you have $1 billion and you can't enjoy yourself, or you don't have somebody to share it with that you trust enough to be like, all right, cool. Yeah. Or you just like, you can have as much money as you want on this planet, and you can have all the things and be the loneliest motherfucker in the room.
Yeah.
In front of thousands of people, because you ain't got nobody to be like, I don't give a fuck what you got. You want to go get a burger, nigga?
Yeah. and not asking you for anything. And you know that they're there just because they fuck with you. It's like, not because of what you have.
You know what I mean? Like, come to the crib. Come do nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
or like, let's go do something. Let's go just do nothing. We don't have to do anything that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of young cats now that just can't get that shit together.
No, I mean, because it's so much, especially in the social media age, like everybody like feels like they gotta have, because
it's pumped to them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking pumped. Like, I try to just watch the most basic shit, right? And then, like, even when I look on, like, TikTok and shit, everybody is all about how much money you make, what you doing this. I listen to the girls that say they don't date a dude unless he make this much money.
Right.
All the dudes who like, I got to make this much. I got to make that much. I got to be a millionaire. I got to be a billionaire. Listen, everybody ain't going to be a motherfucking millionaire.
It's not.
Everybody ain't going to be a billionaire.
Even less.
Listen, some of you motherfuckers ain't gonna be 100,000 in.
I mean, and you know the thing is, it's just like you see people and they take this time to amass all this wealth, and when they think that getting money is the answer to all of their problems.
It is definitely not.
Yeah, and then they'll get the money, and then they realize that they're still miserable.
Yeah.
So now it's like you even more miserable because it's just like, okay, so now nothing is going to solve my problems.
Listen, I've even seen people hustle and get all the money, and then at the end don't know what to do with the money, so they lose the money because they did all of that shit. They worked their whole life, get all this hustle, get all this money, get all this shit, get everything, and ain't lived a single fucking bit through the whole thing. And then when they ready to live, they missed out on all the other shit. They missed out on the kids' birthdays, on the graduations, on the everything, on every fucking thing. And I'd be like, bro, y'all, the fuck you doing?
Yeah,
I think I try now. Like, I hustle my ass off because I love doing it.
Yeah.
But like, I enjoy life. Like, I enjoy life with my kid. I try to travel the world with my friends.
Right.
I see different things, but a lot of people just don't. They don't know how to do half of that shit. You know?
Yeah. And it's important, man. Like, living life and, man, having those experiences.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Those certain experiences, like, change you. And they change your perspective. Like, just seeing different ways of life, the different ways that people live. Like, I've been blessed enough to, like, I probably haven't traveled the world as much as you have. But I've traveled a lot.
Yeah. And
just visiting friends that live in different places, like even within the country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've talked about this before. I went to way back, probably like, man, had to been probably like 2011. I got friends in Colorado,
right,
in Durango, man, and it's a town in the mountains. And going out there and just seeing, like, it's like, I remember I went out there and so I go out there with my guy. So he's not, I said, it was a real random visit. Like, I called him like,
yeah,
hey man, I'm looking at flights for like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're like, yo, you gonna be there? Is it cool?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, come on. He didn't tell me that he was gonna be moving during that time. So, and him and his wife were getting a house built, so he was gonna be living with his father-in-law.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't tell me none of that until
right,
I got there. So I get out there, man, and we go to his father-in-law's house, who lives like in the mountains, like legit, like no street lights, no paved roads.
Yeah.
You know, like just trails.
Yeah.
And it's dark. So we go in the crib, and then I left something in the car, and you know, it's parked right outside the house.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm about to go out, and it was just like, hey, you want to take a flashlight? Hey, flashlight? No, it's right here. And I open the door, and I stick my hand out, and I can't see my hand. I'm like, yo, I'm going to take that flashlight. So I go out there, man, and then, bro, I just happen to look up, and, like, I could see the Milky Way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind.
Blow your fucking mind.
And it's just like, so then, and then the next day, oh yeah, and then so his sister-in-law was getting married.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going to a wedding of people that I had never met before in my life.
Yeah.
It was like 10 people there. I was one of the guests. And they got married at like this cottage of somebody else that they knew that lived in the mountains. So, you know what I'm saying? Another mountain range, not far from where they were. And I just remember, man, going out, like, so his backyard was just like this huge plot of land. And I just remember going out there, and I remember hearing nothing. And I thought I knew what quiet was.
No.
But I had never heard, because even like when you're in the city, like, you know, when you're hearing like there's always buzzing, there's, you know what I'm saying, from the electricity, there's lights, you know what I'm saying? And you don't, those noises don't register to you because they're always there.
Exactly.
And then like now I legit hear nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, so just seeing that And just seeing it like there's just a different way of life.
Right.
It gave me a different perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why like traveling is important because like people
traveling is important.
Yeah, people live differently, man, and it's good to see that. And
Yeah.
it's good to get out of your element to see the different ways that people live in this world.
Very true. A lot of people just don't like even traveling in this country. You know, a lot of people can go a state over and see something totally different.
Completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people have never been outside of the city limits or never been outside of their state.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's so many. It's just within the United States. There's so many cool cities.
Man, so many cool cities.
I was blessed to go a
cool
lot
things.
of places because of work. Like one of my favorite places is San Francisco.
Love San Francisco.
And I probably never would have gone had I not gone for work.
Best Chinatown ever.
Man. And talk about food. San Francisco.
It's great.
Got amazing food, bro. Amazing. Bro. It's a little different. Last time I went, because I ended up taking my kid. Yeah. Because I went a few times for work, and I like to travel like with my kid a lot. Yeah. And she asked to go to San Francisco. Yeah. And it a lot of places that I loved were closed. Mm-hmm. We still had a great time. We went to go see the Redwood Forest. Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff, but yeah, man, it's not quite. A lot of places weren't there anymore, but it was still a great city, man. Yeah.
The last time I was in San Francisco, I was out there for, a couple days, and then end up going to Napa from there and go taste wine and stuff like that. I was working for Constellation Brands at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that was cool.
Circle back.
Yep.
So you wanted to drink for a living.
Yeah. So I wanted to drink for a living, right?
Yeah. So just tell me like
how you started.
How did you start to get to where you are now?
I will tell you the full story, right? This is my story. My story was I wanted to drink for a living. I was actually sitting with my girlfriend at the time, and I was reading a copy of Jet magazine after I came back from college.
Shout out to Jet magazine.
Right. And I saw this woman named Lynn House. She was in this article about taking this course at this distributor. It was called the course of what was it? It was like Spirits and Fine Service or something like that. And I was like, all right, I'm going to take this fucking course because I want to learn more. Because I was studying alcohol, but like I wanted to learn more about it. So then I started studying. I went to this class, and this class was like 12 weeks long. And I was just learning so much more, right? Like every day, I felt like a fucking alcoholic. We would be drinking every day in this class. Class was amazing, bro, because you just tasting all fucking day. And like, people think it's fun for a while until like you just can't take it no more.
Cirrhosis of the liver sets in.
It's not really the cirrhosis that sets in. It's like your body is just like, look, you starting fucking poisonous, my boy. But like, man, I started learning a lot more. I started taking more courses. I started wanting to like work for brands, and I worked for a couple of different brands, and like I just wanted to learn more and more about it. It excited me because I was already excited about food. As a kid, I was excited about food. All I watched was PBS, right? It was weird. Like, my mom would be at work, 9, 10 years old. I'd be in the kitchen cooking. I'd be experimenting, baking shit, like putting stuff.
That's like, because I remember you used to cook down there.
Yeah, man. I even cooked when I got to college. Yeah. That was my thing. I was like, man, how can I make some money? All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for the football team to get out, right? But when I get out of class, I'm going to go cook a big-ass lunch. I would cook dinner, and then I would make plates. But yeah, just getting into alcohol, it just started where you can have a basic bartending job, and you just start taking the different courses. There's a lot of different courses and certifications that you can take, and then you start working for, you can work for a brand. You can apply to work for a brand. You go on BevForce and find a brand job that you may want to work for, and you just apply for it. And as long as you got the charisma and, work ethic or whatever, it's cool. It's the liquor business is great. It all goes back into sales, to be honest.
Right.
After a while, you're a used salesman. You're like a used car salesman. But it's great because you get to taste and you get to talk about and learn from like the creators of certain things.
Yeah.
So like I was fortunate to go to, you know, Italy and France, and I was in Dublin a couple of years ago learning about Irish whiskey, and
shout out to J-Mo.
Yeah, I wasn't down there with Teeling Irish whiskey, but J-Mo's cool. J-Mo was down in Cork, so like we were just going from one part of the country to the next. It was great. You can just get to learn like about the distillation and the soil, and then like the terroir and like everything that goes into making different spirits. When it comes to spirit production, it's cool. It's a lot though.
I can imagine.
Like the different yeasts, if you're like open fermenting, if it's closed tank fermenting, if you're the pH of the water.
Yeah.
It's really, you really start to geek out about it. And it's a science thing, and like you're excited about it, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I learned a lot about that when we were talking before we started.
Yeah.
When I went down to Kentucky, and those distilleries down there, really just going through the process, like it really is a lot of science to it.
Literally, you would
chemistry,
yeah, you would not have Jack Daniels without the water.
And then even like they get the barrels that they age it in, they get it from certain trees, from certain places.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that matters.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of like the flavor and the color and all of that shit, man. It's really
it matters about who's adding what to what. You know. And you get to learn all of those things, and sometimes it's fun. Sometimes you be like, oh man, these motherfuckers about to put out some more bullshit. You can always tell when it's about to be a trend, and it's weird too, because like if you see one thing, like if you see White Claw happen, that happened, and now nobody really drinks it anymore. But now,
that was a thing for a minute though,
right? But then 3 years later, fucking everybody and their mama made a can. Like, why? Why does Corona have a seltzer? I just want to know. You gonna mix soda water and Corona beer?
Bro.
Like, why the fuck are we doing that?
What's the point?
Like, y'all just wasting product now.
Yeah, man. It's just weird. Like, it's just like you see all like those, like, it's like you, like the healthy, kind of like trying to be healthy, trendy, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, there is, and I hate to say this, there is no real healthy way of drinking alcohol.
No, it's not.
There's no real healthy way of drinking alcohol, no matter what anybody fucking tells you.
If you want to be healthy, you should probably just not drink.
You should probably not drink.
Yes.
But if you're slamming, 15 vodka sodas, talking about it ain't got no calories, somebody's lying to you. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're still shit faced.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're drunk for a reason,
and your body is still trying to produce. Still trying to rectify this damn poison that you just. But it's good. It's like it is what it is. Like alcohol is amazing, right? Yeah. This is the reason why I wanted to do it. I loved it because it was always an infinity amount of things to learn about booze. And also, like, we've made it where alcohol is drank all the time. We never really have a recession.
I was just about to, because I remember we had a conversation about that. You said, so alcohol never experiences a recession.
It never really has a recession. Yeah. The reason why is because people drink when they're happy, when they're sad, when they rich, when they poor, when a baby is born, and when somebody dies. When they get married, and when they get divorced, they have a divorce party. So
and during the whole process of getting a divorce, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
The only difference is when the economy is down, people drink more. They drink more of lower tier things or cheaper things.
Right.
When it's up, they tend to drink a higher tier of things.
So let me ask you about the pandemic.
Oh,
because I know,
Yeah.
me personally, I drink a
Almost
lot.
every day.
No, ain't no almost every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It got to the point where
Yeah.
like that was like the signal of the end, because like you in the house all the time, all the
Right.
days around together. So the signal for the end of my day was having a cocktail.
Having a cocktail, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you working in the industry, like what did you see from like the inside?
So what we saw is we saw people stop drinking what we call on and off premise, right?
Okay.
Off premise is grocery store, liquor chain, things like that.
Right.
And on premise would be your bars, your restaurants,
Right.
You know, your clubs, shit like that. So on premise, people stopped drinking, right? It dropped by like 65%.
Okay.
Off premise, it actually went from like 65% to like 420%. So people were drinking at home.
Yeah.
And then what ended up happening was people were drinking at home because they were like, oh, fuck, I ain't got nothing else to do.
Nothing
I
else
got
to do.
Stimulus money, I got stamps, I got
PPP
unemployment,
loans,
and I got PPP. Listen, a lot of
all the
brands,
1738 you could drink.
What's funny is a lot of brands thought they made it because they sales shot up, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then after people start going back out, people were like, yeah, I'm not drinking that shit. So yeah, a lot of people like, oh fuck, man, you know. But like, yeah, people were drinking, you know, they were drinking during the pandemic. You did shit, you had nothing else to do. I would be on Zoom calls. Remember the Zoom parties?
Everybody got their drink.
Who bought the Zoom account? Because you got to keep it live.
Right, you got to, because a free account stop at 40 minutes.
Free account stop.
Somebody got to pay for the Zoom account. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah,
bro. I remember like right before, you know what I'm saying, before we really went into lockdown,
Yeah.
and just going to Benny's, and that shit was like a fucking madhouse.
It was a madhouse.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everybody just like, we finna be locked down. I'm finna get drunk.
And it's funny now because even though we came back and like a lot of people are back in the on premise, it'll never be back to 100% of what it was.
No.
Only because people also realize, man, I haven't spent any time with my fucking kids. I ain't spent no time in this big ass house that I got.
Yeah.
I ain't paid, $400,000-500,000 for this home, and I'm never here.
Yeah.
And then like they start realizing, like, man, I got all this space. I can make things. I don't know how many times I made fucking banana bread, bro. I can't tell you. I make that shit every day for my neighbors every day.
Banana bread,
bro.
How did you? What made you land on banana bread?
It was like the most simplest shit to make.
Banana bread is fucking delicious.
It was amazing, but listen, it was the most simplest thing to make because I would get bananas at the beginning of the week,
and bananas are super cheap.
and they were super cheap. I was going to Costco all the time, and but if I bought them on Friday, if I bought them on Sunday, by Thursday it was time to make bread. So I would make like fucking, because it's hot in my house. I live in a high rise.
Right.
It's fucking hot up there. But like I would make banana bread, and I would make cookies and Vietnamese coffee for all my neighbors almost every week. And I give everybody a package of shit.
I know they loved you.
Man, they still love me. My neighbors are cool. Like, everybody on my floor is cool. I usually give people booze and shit just randomly. Yeah. Or they see me getting off the elevator with fucking cases of shit, and I'm just like, here you go, bro. Like, I don't give a shit. Yeah. And
that's what thing about alcohol, man. It does bring people together.
It does bring people together. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. It's not that good for you, but it's a great thing.
Yeah, in moderation.
In moderation.
In
moderation.
As long as you don't abuse it, because it can kill you.
Yeah, sometimes we take it too far. But
Yeah,
It just, I always tell people, like, man, you can literally go. Thing about alcohol is you can literally go to a liquor store for 2 years and not drink the same thing twice. You can go to the liquor. That's what excited me about alcohol. That's what excited me about being in the business, is because you can go. I would say a minimum of 2 years. Yeah, just a minimum of 2 years. I mean, I've been to some bars that's got 400 fucking whiskeys on the back bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like you can go to a liquor store and not drink the same thing twice. If you just went and just tried different things and wanted to learn about different things, you can literally go and grab something new every time.
So, speaking of different liquors.
Yeah.
So, there is a liquor that Chicago is kind of known for.
What's that?
I hate it. I don't understand why people drink it. I think people that drink it just do it just because they want to be assholes.
Must be talking about my Lord.
Bingo. I remember, so somebody tricked me into taking a shot one time.
Of course, they always do.
Yeah. And they thinking it was funny. I legit wanted to fight. I wanted to fight Buddy. Just like, dude, why would you make me drink this shit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like a Chicago thing. And I don't understand it.
It is not a Chicago thing. Here's the thing. It's a Chicago thing amongst bartenders and like people on the north side.
Yeah.
That's it. It's disgusting.
It's fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's if you ever seen the commercial, they have a commercial on YouTube, and it was like it tastes like Hitler holding a can of off or some shit and earwax, gasoline.
That
it
sounds
is the most disgusting fucking thing. Yeah, it is
that
the most
I've ever
disgusting
tasted.
thing you taste. And I don't know why people still drink it. Like it's just gross. It doesn't taste well at all. People try to make cocktails and shit. I still think it's gross. Like I've seen so many people try to make their own version of it. But Jepson's Malort is like the staple here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also not spending $30 on a fucking bottle of disgusting gas.
Disgusting,
Right.
bro. Absolutely fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Like I said, we remember the Hawkeye and the Skull and the Dimitri and the Goldschlager and all that stuff. But that I would rather drink that than ever take any sort of.
People use that shit to fuck with people.
Yeah, and
that's what they do. It's like, and they always try to make it like, oh, it's a Chicago thing. Well, listen, the lady who made it sold it to a guy in Florida, and then I think they finally just started making it back here, or I don't know if they. I remember the story. She sold it to a guy in Florida, or they started making it somehow in Florida, Fort Lauderdale or some shit. And it's fucking disgusting, bro.
I never understand it.
I don't know why they do it.
Yeah,
it's a couple things I just don't like to drink. I don't like to drink grappa, which is it's like an after dinner drink.
I've never had grappa.
Oh, it's quite rough. It's quite rough, and I don't give a fuck. It's expensive too. It's expensive, and I just can't drink it. Yeah, I don't like to drink that. I don't like to drink, and a lot of my bartenders hate me for this. I hate drinking Fernet. Like I'm not a fucking Fernet fan. I don't like anything that makes my throat feel like it's just been assaulted on some shit. And hey, you want to drink some heartburn? Like, no, I do not, motherfucker. I don't want to drink that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People be drinking shit just to be different.
They do.
Just to be like, yeah, people don't drink this, or this is cool, this is trendy, or this is what you're supposed to drink. This costs this much.
Let me tell you something. Right now, there's a whole trend on Taylor Port.
Bro, what? I don't understand.
I don't know why these broke bitches on TikTok decided to make a trend. Let me tell you something.
Why would you want to drink that?
And it's funny too because like I watched the numbers of Taylor Port because they're my company, right? And like I've seen like the spike of fucking Taylor Port, and everybody's just like, "What the fuck is happening?" I'm like, TikTok,
bro.
These motherfuckers is drinking shit. Listen, your grandfather drank that shit.
Yeah, because they ain't had no fucking money.
Right? You drinking a handle of that shit. It's disgusting, bro. I know it's sweet. It may be sweet and it may taste like grape juice and disappointment, but fuck y'all. Like, I'm not drinking Broken Dreams today.
Man.
I'm not waking up with a headache. Everybody tell me, man, this shit's smacking. Like, no, it is not.
You're not going to feel good the next day. You're not.
I don't drink port. Like, I love port. right? Like I love really good port, and Taylor actually makes some really good port. Like they make the higher end tiers of their port, but that old handle shit, you ain't finna get me drink no $3. That's like drinking Wild Irish Rose.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Why would you want to drink something that costs like $3 for a bottle?
Like drinking white port and Kool-Aid.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you talk about TikTok, man. TikTok had motherfuckers out here cooking chicken and NyQuil.
Listen.
Just all type.
Yeah, I saw that stupid shit too. Like,
man,
y'all cooking chicken and Robitussin.
And it's just like to the point where the FDA got to come out like, hey, Joe, it's probably a bad idea.
Listen.
It has got to taste horrible, nigga. Chicken cooked in NyQuil?
Bruh, I don't know. And I don't know. It's, you know what I realized? Mm-hmm. I realized that we have coddled the younger generation so much that they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. Like, I just started seeing people put like booze in a Brita filter, and I was like, bro, we was doing that shit back in high school. But like, you knew if you bought cheap ass vodka to put it in a Brita filter because it's just a charcoal filter,
right? Because
that's what they use to soften your alcohol. Well, I mean, soften like your vodka and shit. Anyway, they use it to pull out the impurities and shit. And it's just, but then it softens, the charcoal actually softens the alcohol. But like your Brita filter isn't really regulated for that.
It's not.
So as you're pulling some shit out,
shit's going in there.
Some shit's going in there.
Shit's definitely going in there that you
like
don't want.
Y'all over here chugging fucking shots and fucking charcoal fluid. You enjoy yourself. You know like, it's weird, man. Yeah, it's weird.
Fucking kids are stupid, man.
They are dumb as fuck. I just saw the one girl that didn't know that a fox actually existed, and I was like,
wait, what?
Did you see
like
that?
The animal?
Did you see that interview? With
no.
What's that girl name? Glorilla, whatever the fuck her name was.
She didn't know foxes were real?
She did not know foxes were real.
Oh my God, bro.
They were like, yeah, she was in London and they were talking about like a fox. Like, yeah, these people talking about foxes pissing shit in their yards. And she was like, what's a fox? Like, I didn't know that it was real. I was like, oh my God.
What is we gonna do?
Hey man, Listen, I do feel sorry for the generation because I understand that like we created y'all.
Yeah. No, we definitely
created y'all.
We failed.
It's not y'all fault. It's we did everything that we thought we wanted as children because we were being disciplined and raised to do. And raised to survive life.
Yeah.
But we were like, this is just bullshit. We shouldn't be getting treated like this. And then now we starting to realize, like, fuck, our kids are dumb as hell.
Yeah, there was some validity to the way our parents raised us.
It really was. And
it prepared us for life. And it's like, because the thing is, and I'm with my kid about this, man. You know, life is full of disappointments.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? So it's better to learn how to deal with that shit. And I think where a lot of us fucked up at, whereas we tried to shield our kids because we felt like we were exposed to too much of it.
Way too much.
Too much of the harsh reality. You know, we grew up in the fucking crack epidemic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, man, like
I'm going to school at
man,
9. I got keys to the house.
Right. Latchkey babies like a motherfucker. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, it's almost feel like, we don't want our kids to grow up like this.
Right.
But I think we kind of, like you say, we just shelter them a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? To the point where it's just like you motherfuckers getting participation trophies and all this other shit. Like, man, Joe, sometimes you lose.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? And you need to learn how to deal with losing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be an adult and have never experienced any sort of failure, any sort of loss. Yeah. Because when it happens, you're ill-equipped to deal with it.
Very much.
And it's not a good thing, man. But we definitely, but it's not. I don't like to give up all hope on them. You know what I'm saying?
I don't give up hope on them because they're making more money than we were.
And so exactly. So they're
doing nothing.
And there are things that. Because they don't feel that same, like, we got to go through, we got to grind, we got to wait, we got to like go up the chain. Like they they were like, fuck that. Why wait for what?
Right.
And that's true. That's real. Like
It's very
you
true.
know what I'm saying? So I commend them for that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, man, they have access to so much information.
That they do.
And it's just like, but it's almost like it's too much because now it's just like they got all this access and they don't know shit.
None.
You know what I'm saying? It's so fucking odd that happened. But there's also the thing because, you know, we actually had to go. It took some effort to research.
It did.
You know, now you Google and the first 5 results when you put something in, most of that shit is probably not true.
Exactly.
It's placed there for a reason. You gotta go. You still got, but they don't. They would just see that shit.
Right,
somebody said,
like, "That's it."
Somebody said the shit on YouTube. It's gotta be true. I saw this shit on Instagram.
Saw
like
it on TikTok.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it's obvious if it's on the internet. If it's obviously real, you know. It's a crazy world we living in. Man.
Yeah, I saw that in the last couple of weeks. I was like, Jesus Christ. When I saw what they were doing to Kanye West, I was like, Jesus.
Man, you know, I know like Kanye, man. I know we've it's been a lot of talk about Ye. You know.
Yeah. See, I have a different opinion about Ye. I think Ye is what I would call an idiot genius, right?
Explain.
So Kanye is the most outspoken person, but you really have to look at him deeper than the surface to understand him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what he did, what people don't realize is Kanye, even though Kanye may think, everybody think that he like crazy, is like got all of these issues and mental shit. But like when you look at what he's fighting for in his mind is he's fighting for black people in his mind.
He is, and he actually is.
He really is. Like he's gotten to the point where he's like, fuck it, they just ain't gonna fucking listen. I gotta do something weird, and then I gotta do more shit, and then I'm gonna give up every fucking thing to do it. And it's like, bro, you don't have to do that.
But at the same time, he might be one of the most selfish, narcissistic people that I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
Because
But you have to be
to get to where he is to a certain extent.
Have to be.
So that's the thing. So it's really kind of like a weird, because on one hand, what he is doing, the things that he's speaking about,
right?
On one hand, is like, yeah, you know, a lot of people wouldn't have the courage to even. And you see what they're doing to him now. But then, on another hand, it's just like, bro, he'll say and do some shit like all the shit he was doing with Kim. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, like.
That's just, you know, the things that he was doing with Kim is just, it's just a jealous nigga.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's what like the narcissism and all that other shit comes in. Like
them where we all got a boy like that. Like, we all got a boy like that can't let his baby mama go.
Can't let her go.
Like, bro, she left you a long time ago.
Man. But you were playing this out in front of everybody for the world to see.
The only thing is we as average people can't fathom a motherfucker having that much money and being stuck on that pussy. That's the issue. Like, that's what it is. Yeah. We can't fathom that. Like, you can't, you thinking, you can get any bitch in the world. And you stuck on this, and you like, and the only thing going through our mind is, I saw Ray J's pounding this month. And you still, like, but like, to him.
I mean, that was the reason I never would have went in the first place.
And that was the thing. Like, to him, that's his wife. You know, they
got 4 kids.
That was the woman that was there for all the shit until he got the billions, and she was already rich.
Yeah.
So she didn't really need his money, even though she was gonna get most of his money.
Obviously.
But she didn't really need it. So he felt like, oh yeah, this is it for me. You know what I mean? And then to watch a dude like Pete come in was just like, oh fucking bitch.
And so and for her to be so public with it,
and
so
I've seen
quick.
too many motherfuckers go to jail for that type of shit.
Like, and so especially on some Chicago nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So many people talking about. I mean, shit, there's more people in the county over domestics.
I know a motherfucker right now in jail because he saw his wife through the window with a dude, and like, hell no, man. Like I get it, bro. It's just it's one of those where you
crimes of passion.
It's crimes of passion, but you gonna go to jail, my boy.
Yeah.
But like with Kanye, I think what's happening to him now, it's what it is exactly what it is. It is showing that black people, unless we start to support each other, and unless we start to put our foot down, we're gonna always be the same old slaves.
And so regardless of if you agree with him or his behavior and all that other stuff, like it is pretty alarming to see
a billionaire lose $4 billion in 24 hours. Yeah.
And for really, and at the end of the day, bro, what did he really do?
What's crazy is the same thing that he said, Alex Brown has said, a couple of them people on Fox News have said, the leader of the Ku Klux Klan is still rich. Yeah. He's still rich. Like some of the other people who have been outspoken on Jewish issues, they still rich. But the problem is I watched somebody say this earlier. They wanted to make an example of him. It was just like putting beating a slave in front of the other slaves.
That's
what it is.
And there's that, but there's also Ye has also been wilding for a while.
But what did he say as far as what was actually anti-Semitic?
So now I agree with that. Not
a single person can answer that question.
Nobody can. Even with the whole Kyrie Irving thing that's going on right now.
Oh, and I love Kyrie Irving for that fucking interview. He was amazing in it.
Yeah, so the thing is just like, okay, you may not agree with what he says or what he believes, but nothing that he said was defaming any group.
Nothing.
Anybody.
Not a single thing.
But they're acting like that it was just like this huge attack.
Because they have to. They have to put it out there. They have to put it out there to show the rest of you niggas better not say nothing. And that's the thing, is like what we've gotten to is as black people, what happens when we get money and when we get fame, like when we get the money, we don't want to let nobody else, like, ain't nobody else we ain't standing up for no other motherfucker.
Yeah, and it's because we've seen it happen too many times. Where if you do,
too many times,
well, they'll take your shit. Just
but
like
that's the thing, though. The problem is we don't stand together.
And so that's an age-old thing, and I agree with that to a certain extent. But so, like I said, I'm not on the fuck Kanye train.
I'm not. I'm with Kanye all day.
Yeah,
I understand his fight. Like it took
some
me a
of it,
minute to figure it out.
But he's also he's not well. His
How could you say that though?
I mean, just okay. So I don't know for sure, right? Just based on what I see, he's all over the place. Some of his behavior is kind of manic. You know what I'm saying? Even with the shit, well, like he talking about like George Floyd, and you know what I'm saying.
Shit with, you know what that is?
What's
Let
that?
me. This is my opinion. I don't want to let nobody else think that this is somebody else's opinion. My opinion with the whole George Floyd thing and all of that shit was he was also infiltrated by the other group that was watching him.
What do you mean?
I believe that that was all Candace Owens.
Oh yeah.
Right?
No,
so
no,
I believe that
he was definitely manipulated.
So here's the thing about Kanye West, right? Kanye was the only rapper who donated $2 million to George Floyd's kids,
Which is crazy
right?
because now they suing him for 250.
Now they suing him.
For
The only reason
million.
they suing him for 250 is because because he came on there and said exactly what Candace Owens had said.
Yeah.
And Candace Owens had said it, but they didn't sue Candace Owens.
Which is crazy because she got a whole documentary about it.
And what happened was Candace, right? Because Kanye is alienated now. Kanye is just by himself.
Right.
And what's happening with Kanye is a lot of people think it's because he's off his meds. It's not true. It's because Kanye West is like all the other geniuses, right? All the other artists genius.
Right.
They either kill themselves or they go crazy and eventually end up dying at some point, right? The crazy part is like he stopped taking his medicine or whatever, which he said, which made total sense because if he would have, I do believe that if he was taking his medicine at some point in between this whole thing, he would have suddenly died from something. You know what I mean? But I think that his mind is just like some of the other artists, right? Some of those really amazing genius and artists and shit, like Vincent Van Gogh, right? He was a fucking genius when it came to art,
right?
But he shot himself in the fucking chest because he couldn't get out of his own mind.
Yeah.
And I think that what's happening with Kanye is that Kanye's not crazy. He's just trying to make people understand that, like, I'm fighting for y'all, but like all of us aren't on that level and can't understand that.
But the thing is, it's hard for people to understand that you're fighting for us when you say shit that directly contradicts or affects black people.
Exactly.
When you say shit like what he said about George Floyd.
Yeah.
When you put it on the shirt talking about white lives matter.
I think
when you go, and then he went on like Fox News or something talking about like straight white men and the most persecuted people in this country. So it's hard for. So how can we really? How can you expect?
Because this is my logic with Kanye West's mind.
Okay.
Right. My logic with his mind is he's screaming. I think in his mind, and this, like I said, it's my opinion. In his mind, he has been screaming blackness since since College Dropout album.
Right.
He's been screaming blackness and he's been screaming, bro, wake the fuck up, And I think he reached a point in his mind where he's like, well, if they don't listen to me now, maybe they'll listen to me if I say some crazy ass off the wall shit. But that's also because, and I don't think consciously he's thinking that way, but like I just think that that's what's happening. And I think that like when he say like the white lives matter, then all of a sudden all the black people are like, what the fuck?
So I recognized when I saw that, I was just like, Kanye just trolling. It didn't really. The only thing that really kind of like got me was like when he talked about the George Floyd thing because
I think the George Floyd, as I said, when you are by yourself and your mind is at that level,
right?
And the only person you fucking got to talk to you is fucking Candace Owens. You're gonna be sitting there like, oh fuck. You constantly you're gonna start to believe all the shit. It's like listening to a fucking flat earther. You ever listen to one of them motherfuckers?
Crazy as shit.
You start thinking in your mind like, oh man, you might be right. Like no, goddamn well the sun come up and go down.
It's a horizon line, clear indication.
You want to see the picture from space, bitch? Like
and so I feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But there's so much evidence, man, from what I've seen and with his behavior, man, and him just being wild.
He might be, but that's the thing. He like white girls too, though.
And so that's the thing. He's in a lot of ways to me, man. He's just a living, breathing contradiction. You know what I'm saying?
He might be, but what's crazy is is that he should be open, like he's opening up your mind.
So,
and he gives you points of discussion because, like, literally, I just said this the other day. I said, man, I haven't had a good discussion or a good debate on the fucking internet since Trump. And I'm like, and then I was debating, it was all Kanye West shit. And I'm like, man, y'all got to remember, like, it's just his form of expression. But, like, it's his right, too.
So I agree that he shouldn't. The things he says, the way people get all up in arms about it. Like,
I don't understand.
Because it really is just like, I mean, it's just the way he thinks. It's not really affecting you in that way.
It does not affect you at all.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, so seeing what's happening to him now, right?
Imagine.
And because just think back, and because he recently admitted that Sway did indeed have the answers.
He did.
Because Sway was trying to tell them way back when, well, why don't you just take
the motherfucker?
Yeah, but then you on his show having a fucking temper tantrum, screaming, you don't have the answers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
because in his mind he ain't listening right there. He focused on, no, I'm trying to tell you they own everything, and it's like,
yeah, it's right. Okay, but the thing is, you can sit here and say you have all this power and you have all this, but then at the same breath you say they own everything. You can't do it. So now, because it's crazy, because he went to Adidas, and I saw Adidas owns a patent on all his shoes except for like the slides.
Yeah.
So he can't do anything with all those years of work. Mm-hmm. He can't do anything with it.
He can't do anything with it. But here's the thing about Adidas, right? And this is just my thinking on all the companies who dropped Kanye West. Mm-hmm. This would be my advice: go find yourself the best young black fucking lawyers. Assemble a big ass team, a nice size team, right? Uh-huh. And find the ones that are the best at what they fucking do. They could be coming out of college. They could be doing whatever. You could have the best geniuses. Uh-huh. Every single fucking company had a breach of contract. Every single company had a breach of contract. Yeah. At some point, I would be suing every one of them for the amount the company is worth. Every single one of them. And then I would sue their children. And then I would sue, like, every head of each company. Like, I would personally sue them. And then when I won my money back, I would continue to sue them until they were out of money. So that's the only way that you can get your money back and get your dignity back, because there's nothing else that, like, can happen. Even though Kanye West they all saying he all broke now. He's broke, right? He ain't never gonna be broke.
He ain't broke.
He ain't gonna be broke. He gonna be broke because of one person who didn't jump on the bandwagon, and that was Spotify.
Because there's music.
Right. And his album just went 3 times platinum or some shit.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, no matter how crazy you think he is, and no matter, like, if you agree with what he says and what you don't, what you can't argue is his cultural influence.
You cannot.
Kanye is, hate him or love him, agree with him or disagree with him, Kanye is one of the most culturally influential people that the world has ever seen.
Exactly.
And he may be crazy, he may be an idiot sometimes, a fucking narcissistic asshole. But I was thinking about this the other day. As a Chicagoan, there are these moments that you remember in your life where you were just, I mean, Chicagoans, we're proud.
We are very proud.
We fucking love Chicago. We love being from Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
You can't tell us shit.
Yeah, we'll talk shit about Chicago all day.
Shot rock in front of us. We slap
the dog shit out you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even the lames are slapping you. But there are a few moments I know in my lifetime where I was even more proud to say I was from Chicago. Harold Washington was mayor.
Very true.
Bulls, 2 3-peats in 8 years.
Yep.
6 championships in 8 years, excuse me.
Exactly.
Fucking College Dropout came out. And because it was so, because we remember when people wasn't trying to give Kanye that chance.
Yeah.
And even even me, I remember thinking myself, like, I mean, yeah, he cool, but you know, he probably should just focus on the beat.
Shit.
Man, when that College Dropout came out,
was the best album in the world.
It changed everything, bro.
Everybody.
It changed everything.
There would be no Jay-Z without Kanye West. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far.
I'm just saying.
I mean, because Jay was
no. I'm saying Jay-Z's amazing, but like producing the albums that the biggest hits that Kanye has had. I mean, the biggest hits that Jay has had some bit of Kanye in there.
See, we that would be another 30 minutes in this episode.
I know, but no, that's just it's just my opinion. I mean, I just think that like, Kanye has done so much influence on everybody, and especially just the world of music and everything else. And like, even when you look at all the albums and all the stuff he produced, it's he's an amazing genius. He's an idiot genius. Is what I say.
Mean, musically, yeah, he got some. I feel like he got some growing up to do as a person for sure.
I believe that. I don't even know what'll happen to him now. I think that he's going to continue to fight until the end. I mean, he's seen what can happen to him.
So I think, and it's almost like, and I'm not a Tyler Perry fan.
Yeah.
But in terms of what he does with his own studio, his own productions, like
Tyler's amazing.
I mean, Kanye, man, like you say, Sway had the answers, bro.
He did. I recently watched that Russell Simmons interview.
Yeah, we was talking.
And I thought it was the dopest thing, And he was like, "Yeah, man, you're gonna have to apologize to some motherfuckers.
Because you need those relationships.
Kiss a little ass for a little bit, but like, now you're free of everything. And like I said, and now that you're free of everything, sue. Because everybody deserves to be sued.
I mean, yeah, but things like that could take years in litigation.
Yeah,
like
that's
for me personally, for Ye, I just want to see him start over. And
I'm telling you, I believe in him starting over. I would find my team though.
Yeah, because he's too creative and he's too good in that arena in terms of like in fashion and in music, man.
Yeah.
Like he's too creative.
He's amazing.
He has a lot more left to give.
Yeah, he's an amazing dude. I really do think that I'm glad that he's out of a lot of those contracts and he saw what can happen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know he recently apologized for the whole George Floyd thing.
He did.
Yeah. So, so I mean, maybe there's some hope for him, but he definitely, like, he got some issues, bro.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And
I feel sorry for all the rappers, though, to be honest.
Man, I mean, the way they're getting taken off here, I mean, shit. Like, I didn't mean
rest in peace to
Takeoff. That's what I didn't mean to say taking off here like that. But yeah, I mean, R.I.P. Takeoff. You know what I'm saying?
R.I.P. Takeoff, man.
Man, it's just,
that was my guy. He was about to make it. Not make it, but he was about to shine.
Yeah, he had
this was his time.
It was his time. You know what I'm saying? Him and Quavo had just dropped that album, and it's like, and people were saying like it's over a dice game. But I mean,
it could have been over a dice game, but it's the thing about it is we could all say we shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? I heard people, man, fuck, they throwing dice. I'm like, they was on some rich shit. The problem is,
but also niggas shoot.
They was
dice.
on some nigga shit, but like, if y'all gonna be on some nigga shit, if you at that, here's the thing: for rappers who have this much money, listen to me. If you have money enough to go gamble, right, and you just want to go gamble and shoot dice with your boys in the back, it's you and your boys,
right?
Ain't nobody else coming into this game.
Not random people, yeah.
No random people. You got all this fucking security in here. Why the hell are you down here shooting dice with random people?
And we don't. So
nobody knows what.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? And it really is unfortunate how in this social media era you got people circulating images and videos of him,
bro,
on the ground.
That's the disrespect on. on anything now. It's all about like, let me pull my camera out first.
Yeah, and who want to get clicks and views or try to sell the video to TMZ.
Yeah, they want to do all that
and it's
shit.
like, bro, like he got family, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Imagine somebody in his family, his cousin, uncle, anybody like that, like that didn't know, and they just open up their phone and going through Instagram in the morning, and they first thing they see is a video of they loved one bleeding out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's just and people don't think about like how it affects other people, man. It's really kind of sad.
We won't be able to stop that anymore now anyway because of the internet.
The cats,
all of the streaming services, TikTok, all this shit. You won't be able to stop that shit anymore.
It's so predicated on like people, you know, putting that content out there, and content is king.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate, man.
It is.
You know, but we've been going
pretty much a long time.
Yeah, man. But this is.
Well, I hope we covered some topics. You know, I'm always down to come back and talk about you know, in depth on booze or food or any of that.
Yeah, and I know there's I know you got some things coming down the pipe.
Yeah, so I got a couple of things coming down the pipeline. Working on some brand stuff. I did start back cooking again.
So you do have the experience by Andre.
Yeah, so I have the experience dinners by Andre, which is cool. I just bought a food truck too, for the summer for like festivals and stuff. My whole goal is to like do it for festivals. I just like to hustle, but like I want to start. I've been doing too much crazy shit. You know, I travel a lot. I enjoy traveling, but like, yeah, I'm trying to get back to it. You know, I'm just trying to. That's how my mind is. It's always racing about different ideas, things I want to do. Like I started a clothing company called Asshole Clothing. That shit was funny.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I still do that. I still do custom T-shirts and hoodies and hats and all this stuff for people. I mainly do them for restaurants now, which is crazy. A lot of people call me for their uniforms. And
really?
Stuff. Yeah, it's funny because I'm like, yeah, I get that done. Like, got a team of people just like, man, let's get it done. Let's knock this out. But yeah, the experience dinners are cool. It's just literally like it's a series of dinners that I'm doing at one of my friends' place up in. This is a beautiful rooftop, and I just started doing like these dinners because I was actually working on trying to open up a brick and mortar restaurant, and then I said, well, I'll just do a bunch of pop-up dinners for now. And then I'm working with some Airbnb people next year, actually starting in January, where I'll be doing the experience dinners in different Airbnbs and different pop-up locations and just showing off like their space and then foods and wines, and then we'll be talking about some booze and stuff.
Okay.
We'll get into cigars and champagne and all of that stuff because I love cigars too, so. Yeah, but it's cool, man. You always say I'm interesting, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to kick it, bro.
Hey, man, you definitely do, man.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So like, you know, when those other things pop off, man, we definitely.
I got you, man.
Yeah.
Anytime, man. I'll come do an interview with you anytime, and
yeah, man.
You know, this is my guy, man.
Yeah.
You know,
friend of the show.
Kicking it in McKibben, you know.
McKibben.
Screaming in the hallways. You remember when all them cats got into that fight in the lunchroom, bro? Was you in there that time?
What you talking about with
it was
the
New York
and
and all the Chicago people were just sitting on the back.
Yeah, just like, it ain't us this time. It ain't us. They can't blame this on Chicago.
Can't blame that on us today. Like, no, we good because y'all enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Knock the fuck out.
Damn, he stole the fuck out of dude.
I know.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. That was, man, it was crazy.
Exactly.
But that was over 20 years ago.
Man, it's 20 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, man, it's old.
Getting old, baby.
Yeah, man. Man, well, this has been a pleasure.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man, we definitely going to have to do this again,
Anytime,
man.
man. You know, we could talk about it, whatever you want to talk about, booze, anything. We go through it.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody that tunes in, listens, man, all my subscribers, all my regular viewers, anybody that takes the time to like, share, comment. You don't have to. The world is filled with so much content right now, man. So anybody that takes the time to view mine, I never want to, not show my appreciation. I never want to take it for granted. So I appreciate y'all. Until next time, peace.
Peace.